Pax vobiscum. Welcome back to the channel, and to another episode of the Vestal Virgin Plays. So here is another Vestal Virgin Plays video where I'm actually going to be talking. For the other ones, for the walking simulators, I sort of felt it would be a little more atmospheric and immersive to not have my annoying voice speaking over them as we went. So I hope you enjoyed Drizzlepath Picture. Not necessarily my favorite ones, for lack of a better term, story-wise, but design-wise, it was very beautiful and interesting, the sort of moving on from picture to picture to these different environments. And the environments themselves are always beautifully well done. I think the wheat field was my favorite, but we move on now to my investigation of different sort of games that I happened to find on Steam that I wanted to go ahead and try. So today we are playing something called The Attic by Paulina Jaklik, and I apologize if I said the name wrong. But I found this game sort of advertised as a point-and-click adventure, not quite walking simulator, but sort of a point-and-click adventure with full of story. I was very, very curious, and so I decided, let's go ahead and give this a shot. And already the art looks very interesting, sort of reminiscent of one of my friends back in the day. She used to do these absolutely gorgeous images on Microsoft Paint, and they sort of had the same sort of style to them, I felt. But very quickly, let's look at settings. So we just have audio volume, controls. Go to main menu. Left click to select choice, look around, move around, alrighty. And again, I still do have my mechanical keyboard, so if you hear clacking going on in the background, it's still me. So, interesting. I do love the hand-drawn design to this. That's very nice. So, without further ado, let's begin. You pass by the attic. You hear a knock. Oh. Oh, how stunning! Oh, I very much like this animated, but feels as if we are inside a painting. Oh, I very much enjoy that. Well, we appear to be... Oh. I think I heard something. We must be an artist. Or at least live in an artist's house who very much enjoys birds. Interesting. The house is old. Better make sure there aren't any pests making their new home up there. Or in there. I can't read. You go to the attic. Well, before we go to the attic, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. I recently purchased for myself an espresso machine as an early oh goodness, early Christmas present, and I'm very much enjoying it. So now, let's go to the attic. Oh. We ran up there. I must say, I'm very much enjoying this art style. We are within a painting, and yet there's these little bits of animation. It almost reminds me of the old Flash games, if you remember from back in the day when most of our computer gaming was done on gaming websites with Flash. I do miss Macromedia Flash. I used to animate with it, believe it or not. Let's wander around here. Oh! The creaking is a bit concerning. It's rather loud. I hope we don't fall through the floor. This looks to be all sorts of... Oh! Aside from the floorboards creaking under your feet, it's silent in here. The attic is filled with mundane objects, tools and toys that remember many hands from past generations. The novelty and shine of them is dampened by time and dust. Except, what's there by the window? Well, let's take a look. Oh, excuse me. You come closer. It is open just a tiny bit. A small animal could have squeezed through. There's a carved circle in the windowsill, and a tiny glass ball in the middle of it. It's blue, clean from dust, charming like a little piece of sky that fell. Or was it offered? Would you like to take it with you? Oh, interesting. Let's see what happens if we do. You pocket the ball. It's like a little gem, childish, but it brings you a bit of joy. Interesting. Right. Well, I don't see anything else up here. I guess we shall leave. You leave the attic. You place the ball on your nightstand, wondering about the origins of your newfound treasure. The next day. Excuse me. You pass by the attic. You hear a knock. Oh, here we go again. Pardon me while I take a sip of my water. Trying to stay well hydrated. Well, back to the attic we go. Again, did the window open there? You go to the attic. Now this is quite fun. It reminds me of the sort of point-and-click text adventure games that I used to play a bit as a child, and they're actually quite fun, and some of them I actually got very emotionally invested in because they were just written so well. And this is like that, sort of choose your own adventure, but also painted and drawn out and animated. Very interesting. Aside from the floorboards creaking under your feet, it's silent in here. The window is open, and there is a familiar glimmer on the windowsill. A blue ball. Another one. You rummage in your pocket. The one you took yesterday is there. Like the morning sky, pale and full of light. The other one is deeper, like the sky midday. This makes you... I would probably, knowing me and being a scaredy cat, be a little unsettled, but at this point I'm more curious than anything. The small crack in the window would indicate the culprit is an animal. Oh, well, we did see all those pictures of birds. Perhaps a bird? A raven bringing gifts? Or a bird. Oh, there we go. Or a bird. Birds can be cunning little creatures. You do have a soft spot for corvids, too. Oh, I called it. I do also have a soft spot for corvids. Is one curious bird trying to befriend you? You take your new find, but would you like to leave something in return? Some trinket of your own. A trinket for a trinket, a fair trade. You leave an old ring, more of a toy than jewelry from your younger days. It's shiny, and birds like shiny things. You leave your offering in the little circle. You go downstairs. Interesting. Now we've left our trinket, and that is concerning. And let's get downstairs before the floor collapses. In the evening you look at your findings. They're so pretty, and so uniform aside from the shade of blue, which now I can see. You can actually see the difference. Is there a child with a slowly diminishing collection of glass balls nearby? Oh no! Each day getting robbed by birds? Well, you're not sure it is a bird. But birds do that, right? You place both of the found balls on your nightstand. You drift to sleep more curious about their source than before. And another day. I wonder what it is we do. For some reason, I get the sort of feeling that we are living in a house on the seaside. You pass by the attic. You hear a knock. Like Groundhog Day. Well, we can see that we do like corvids, because we do have the statues here, and we do seem to be fond of birds. Let's see. I have the sort of feeling that we are in a house by the sea. It just feels right to me. The window! You forgot to close it last time. Well, you did leave a bounty for the balls. You go to the attic. Let's see what we find this time. Again, I'm very much enjoying this art style and the sort of color palette as well. Oh, it seems to be evening. I was not paying attention last time. Oh. Aside from the floorboards creaking under your feet, it's silent here. Certainly are creaking. You check the windowsill. The ring is still there. A disappointed "oh" escapes your lips. Well, you shrug. The trader didn't like it. Maybe you should have left some nuts or seeds instead, if it's a bird or something of the sorts. But it stings. It feels like a rejection. Or did you scare it away? You wonder why you care. The ring was worth so little that... Oh, the ring was worth so little to you that you left it for the birds, or some creature to take it. No, you cared. It was a trade, a treasure for a treasure. And this ring was once your treasure, so you take it back. You turn away from the window. Their loss, you say to yourself. When? Something fell from the windowsill and now rolls near your feet. A new glass ball. This time with a warm hue of an afternoon sky. When? How? You couldn't spot it fast enough? It came from the window, surely. Oh well, was it waiting for you to free the spot? You feel a bit confused, but an assertion comes to your mind. It's not a trade. It's a gift? You find it creepy that you couldn't spot how it landed on the windowsill, but you do feel a spark of joy to know that the trader didn't leave. This silly notion might be your undoing one day, and that feels a little ominous. You take the ball. You go downstairs. Interesting. So we have a marble for the morning, a marble for the early afternoon, and a marble for the late afternoon. But we should pay attention to the window here and the lighting in the room. Oh, that creaking is so disconcerting. If you've ever been in a house that has extremely creaky floorboards like that, I've done that once and I was convinced. Oh, in the evening you place your findings in your nightstand. You pass by the attic. You hear a knock. Certainly Groundhog Day. I see. We should be paying attention to the window, so now it looks as if it is night. It's there again. You didn't close the window. You didn't want to. You wonder what shade would the ball have this time. You go to the attic. Ah, we see it is now nighttime. This would actually be quite a lovely space if you cleared it out of storage. This would make a lovely sort of room. For me, I think it would make a nice library. Oh, and there is something there. Aside from the floorboards creaking under your feet, it's silent in here. Even more than before, weirdly enough. Interesting. Don't see anything. You approach the window. There's a glass ball in the deep ultramarine blue of an evening sky. So deep you would expect tiny stars sparkling within. It's beautiful. The attic is high enough. Was it heavy for the trader to bring in here? You wonder. Until you notice the window. Oh, interesting. The window is closed shut. Not just closed, latched, as you were supposed to do in the very beginning. You haven't come up here since last time, and you didn't close it. With a pounding heart, you gently place your fingers on the ball. It's warm. Interesting. It's very pretty. I do very much enjoy this art style, simplistic and yet very, very striking, and the use of colors is very beautiful too. Well, we've taken everything else. Let's see what happens if we take the ball. You slowly pick it up. You turn around and leave the attic. If you hear the little chimes, they are Steam achievements for taking each of the different balls for the different times of day. So, oh, I didn't think this was going to be a horror game. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't. Oh goodness, I don't want to play. You know what I mentioned before about me being a scaredy cat? I don't know what that was. But I don't want to be up here anymore, and I'm glad I'm playing this with the windows open and it being a nice, bright, sunny day. Oh goodness. I wish we could run. Let's go downstairs. I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear me shrieking. So, I hope my little cat comes in and keeps me company. I'm now terrified. I don't know what that was, if it was just a trick of the light legitimately in the game or intended, but... You pass by the attic. You hear a knock. Oh. And it's the middle of the night. How come you woke up and went to relieve yourself just in time to hear it? You wonder. You weren't sleeping anyways. You finally manage a moment of honesty with yourself. You waited for it. I don't know if it's just me, but does it seem as if the ravens, it sort of looks like with the light and the painting and such, like they have two eyes, red eyes. And the birds seem to be looking at us. All seem to be looking at us now. That's terrifying. Well, it's the middle of the night now, and I do not want to go into the attic. Oh, well, I heard the knock, I waited for it, and now that I've heard it, it's time to continue to the bathroom, yes? No? Oh, goodness. I would not survive 5 minutes in a horror movie. I would just expire immediately. Well, let's see what happens. But just to mention very quickly, the atmospherics of what this game is able to do, and sort of give this illusion of time passing and of existing in this space with only having, at least for now, two areas of existence, is very interesting, as well as the use of light and tone and color to sort of denote the different times of day. Very, very interesting, and I absolutely adore the hand-drawn style of everything too. Beautiful. And with that, we've delayed long enough, so let's go upstairs. Oh, I wonder if that's our house. Oops. You go to the attic. I don't want to. Oh, I'm scared to look. I'm scared to look. I'm scared to look. Oh. Let me know if you see anything. I'm covering my eyes and turning the mouse. Oh, I don't think there was anything. Oh dear. Very disconcerting. The black waving fabric is not helping at all. Well, let's go downstairs. Oh dear, I'm scared. The sounds of your footsteps roar in the deafening silence. Oh, like tar, the darkness fills every crevice of the space. There is only one light source. It's the window. Absolute. Oh! Oh dear. The light is dim, yet you see a familiar shine. The glass ball looks at you, like a crow's eye. It's pitch black like a starless sky. You gaze into it, drowning in its darkness. The glint of light on its surface makes it seem alive. Focused, like it's returning your stare with equal interest. You find it beautiful. You hope the glass eye finds you beautiful too. An interesting thought. You are still, unmoving. Oh, terrified by the stillness around you. Yes, I am. Not sure of the shapes muddled by the dim light. Almost recognizable, but not really. Oh dear. You don't look away, though. You are pinned by the eye. Why did you keep coming here? You give silly excuses to yourself. Oh dear. You didn't ask that truly. You never thought it was an animal. You hoped it wasn't a bird. You took the treasures. You offered one of your own. You wanted me here. Oh dear. There was a reflection. You want... What is happening? Turn around! Oh no! You wanted me here? Wanted who here? And that's the game, everyone. We will not be turning around. We will, but I'm going to have my eyes closed as I do so. Oh. What just happened? Oh. Oh, there are multiple endings. Interesting. Ending 4. Treasure. Interesting. So a very short game. It looks like there are multiple endings. So the 4th ending there, treasure, we took each of the treasures. And as we took them at the very end, it was at night, and we saw something very frightening. I don't even know what it was. I had my eyes closed when we turned around. But that last one, a crow's eye. So there's bird imagery, but whatever it was, I don't think was a bird. It came at us. The treasure, you wanted me here. Turn around. What is that related to? So we're going to go through and play this through one more time and see if we can get a different ending. So starting at the beginning again. And I'm not going to go through and read everything since we already did for the first playthrough, but we'll see what differences there are between the different choices. So this time, what we're going to do is I think we're going to leave the marbles there and see what happens. There's the first marble. Offered. We do not take it with us. Another trinket joins the treasury of trinkets. It's meant to be stored and forgotten, unfit for your modern life. Oh. What's in the attic stays in the attic. Ending 1. What's in the attic stays in... Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm not sure what I was quite expecting. You hear a knock, you go upstairs, you see a strange marble sitting in a carved wooden circle on the windowsill, and then go, well, not my problem. And proceed to go back downstairs. I do like how the achievement that popped up is labeled "Nah, leave the attic as it was." So well done, Paulina. Well done. But the subtle music is very, very pretty, and I love the sort of effect here too, with the different endings. Very interesting. So we had ending 4 and ending 1, which was ending 4 was the treasure, which was terrifying, and then ending 1 was we just left it there and proceeded to go about our day. So let's see if we can get something else. So this time we will take the marble with us. Sort of go from there. Okay, we will take it with us. So we know there's at least an ending 2 and 3. So let's see if we can find those. Alrighty. Another blue ball. This one's deeper. Instead of curious, we'll do a bit unsettled. You live alone. There is no one in the attic with you. Is there? Oh no. You jump it. It's just the ball. It fell from the windowsill. You pocket it and get downstairs. Oh dear. Great start. I was afraid to turn and see something. Well, now it sort of feels like those dark shapes are people looking at me. I'm going to stare at the ground as we walk forward, so I don't have to look at anything. Oh! I accidentally clicked past, but you look at your findings, they creep you out this time. But you also berate yourself for having a wild imagination. A burglar leaving glass balls? Were they also 10 centimeters wide, squeezed through the window gap? Or is someone playing with you? You shake your head. Too many ghost stories and scary gossip. You chuck them into your nightstand's drawer, trying to forget their existence. Okay, so a little different dialogue there. We hear another knock. All right, let's see what we've got this time. Oh, the window. You forgot to close it last time. An ugly swear escapes your lips. You go to the end. Oh, interesting. So if you choose that it's unsettling, it actually changes the dialogue a little bit to where you see it as an annoyance and something to be frightened of right off the bat versus something to be curious about. Interesting. See, doesn't it look like someone is standing right there? And doesn't that look like a scary face looking at us? I don't like it. Yes, it's silent, I know. You check the windowsill. A new glass ball. You furrow your brows. You exhale. This is just a ball. You very much can be overreacting. You leave the damn ball there. You're not a child anymore to play with those things. We'll see how the house, the entity, appreciates that. I am now afraid to turn, so I'm going to turn. Hopefully there's nothing there. I'm going to look at the floor. Interesting. So you can leave the first one, and then you end up choosing the second one. And then, but if you choose that you are unsettled by the balls, then it changes the dialogue and how you interact a little bit. Interesting. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, that's frightening. You come closer. An afternoon ball rolling on the wooden floor. You stay frozen for longer than you would like to admit. You pick up the ball slowly. Then look up! Oh no! I shall click, but I shall not be looking. Then look up. I'm not looking up. Oh dear. Oh dear. There is no one in the attic. You assure yourself. Locking shut the latch and also your bedroom door for tonight. Oh, okay. Interesting. Does it need a little piece of animation there to go with the story? Is it evening? It's night. Oh dear. Well, that damn window again. How come you always forget to close it? Can't leave it like this. You go to the attic. Oh dear, I'm not liking where this is going. I'm trying to be tactical about taking sips of my coffee so I don't accidentally spit it out in fear. Speaking of fear. See? Looks like someone is watching me. I don't like that. Even more silence than before, yes. Oh! There is a glass ball. The deep ultramarine blue of the evening sky, tiny stars. The fact that there's another blasted ball makes you tense up. But one additional detail makes you shudder. The window is closed. Did you close it? Oh, interesting. So we can choose... Well, in this playthrough, since we're being a little more paranoid, let's go with no, you didn't. You didn't. You might be forgetful, but you didn't close this window. But if that is true... Oh, dear. Covering my eyes again. Whew. Well, one thing I noticed is there seems to be just a black scribbling all over the back there. So I'm going to cover my eyes again and keep walking until something happens. Because I heard something that sounded like someone was there. Oh, you almost fall down the ladder. Oh, goodness. With shaking hands, you shut the attic door behind you, and also your bedroom door. Curled up in the farthest corner of your bed, you struggle to fall asleep. Interesting. Oh, we hear a knock again. Oh dear. Now this one's the middle of the night. It's the middle of the night. Are you actually hearing the window up there? Is the source of the sound there at all? You went up there. You heard and saw nothing, just to collect the glass balls from the windowsill. How many did you collect? 3. Just 3, you say? You don't know yourself why you took any of those blasted things. But the 4th stayed in the attic. You are sure of it. You chucked the rest in the drawer. You are sure of it. You go to your bedroom. You open your nightstand's drawer. Oh, interesting. 4. You choke up. How? You yank the drawer handle harder. 5, 6. What? 7, 8. Wait, no. How many times have you visited the attic? 4 times, only 4 times. And where do those come from? They are from the attic. They must be. How did they come to your room? 8, 9. You question yourself. You did find them in the attic. You did! There were only 4. No 3, no. There was proof someone was in the attic. Why didn't you call for help? 26, 27, 30. There was someone in the attic. Why are you screaming now? There is! Oh dear. You hear a knock. Ah! Okay. Interesting. I'm enjoying as much as I keep screaming and acting like a coward. I'm enjoying this sort of psychological horror aspect of everything. It's very, very interesting. Right. Well, let's face our fears, shall we? You go to the attic. I guess we're going to confront everything. It helps if I actually click to continue. Ooh. Oh, see here? Now there's some sort of black gossamer hanging here, for whatever reason. The sounds of your footsteps roar in the deafening silence. Like tar, the darkness fills every crevice, and the window is the only light source. I don't like that sound. The light is dim, crow's eye, pitch black. You don't dare to move, terrified by the stillness around you. And look away, pinned by the eye, first time. Oh, it's the first time you see it. That is what you tell yourself. You haven't seen the black one. Exciting, isn't it? Something is leaving glass balls in your attic to find. Like a tooth fairy. A burglar that is leaving little treasures. Or maybe it's here all the time. Knocks to let you know when to come in. Like parents on Christmas Day. It's terrifying. You plead. To yourself. Then why didn't you do anything about it? You just played along. You wish that someone was here. But there was nothing to haunt you. You haunted yourself. Oh! Oh, ending 5. Haunted. Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. You haunted yourself. What does that mean? Right, well, we've uncovered 3 endings so far. Let's see if we can go through and find another one. Right, we'll click through just a little bit more quickly this time. So let's go through the exact same thing that we did for the haunted ending. But this time, instead of no, I didn't close the window, I'll say yes, I did close the window. So we'll give that a shot. So we do take it with us, otherwise the game just ends. Right. Alright, now as we click through, I will say the ability of I'll just call her Paulina, to have made this game into the psychological horror that it is, having it based purely in sort of only 2 scenes with little cutscenes here and there to continue the story, is absolutely fascinating. That is very well done. It is as if we are living in our very own short story, and absolutely fascinating. And we'll talk about this a little bit more once we're done with the game. But this is, other than me screaming and shrilling, about the scariness of it all, I apologize. I'm actually quite enjoying myself. This is fascinating. Very, very psychological horror. Let's see, so we'll do a bit unsettled. Alright, so we'll continue until we get to the window portion. Trying to forget their existence, but not much hope of that. Alright. I'm very curious what ending 5 meant by haunting yourself, and the ending was titled Haunted. The sound design too is very well done as well. I appreciate the Yes, that is just as terrifying as before. And I appreciate the simplistic yet very well done animation. Yes, that is horrifying. There's no one in the attic, you assure yourself, even as you just saw something absolutely horrific. Yeah, I'm so enjoying the design of this game, and like I was saying before, got terrified yet again. The lack of sound, or the use of sound and the absence of sound, is very well done, because the silence and lack of music, except for very core areas, does a lot to sort of foster that tense atmosphere. And I think a lot of games, a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, a lot of any sort of media like that could benefit greatly from the lack of sound, the lack of music, just as much as the good choice of sound and music. So there is a glass ball. Window is closed. You close it. Okay, we said before that no, you didn't, no, you didn't. So this time we're going to go with yes. Yes, you must have. You did. You surely wanted to shut this blasted window, so you wouldn't need to go to this forsaken attic. You just forgot. Yes, you forgot. Everything gets forgotten in the attic. You can forget about it too. Until we turn around. Closing my eyes. With shaky steps you run from the attic, closing it shut. You don't need to go there anymore. Next day. You pass by the attic. You hear a knock. Uh-oh. Right. There is no one in the attic, you say under your breath. There isn't. Some marbles don't prove anything, perfectly placed in the little circle. There is no one in the attic. Each day a new one. There is no one in the attic, even when the window was closed. There is no one in the attic, announced by a knock. There is no one in the attic. At the exact time, there is no one in the attic. When you are within reach of the ladder. I'm scared. That was interesting, fading into the marble in the center of an eye. There is no one in the attic. Oh, before we continue, I'm going to take a sip of my water. I'm scared, I'm scared. See, and then there's this sort of sheer gasp. Ah! Okay. Oh. Ah! Sound of your footsteps roar and the deafening silence like tar. One light source. Right. Familiar shape. Alright, we see the crow's eye again. You don't look away, you are pinned by the eye. Little glint of light. Oh, this one's different. Focused on you. Amused by you. A marble. That's what scares you. Child's toy. Useless trinket. It belongs here amongst other junk. Rubbish to keep for no one. There's no reason to come to this grave filled with dust. Why is it here, then? To gather dust. To reminisce about those long dead and gone. I don't like what shape is forming in the marble. You are here, the only living thing looking at all this waste. Everything that goes in the attic stays in the attic. To stay forgotten. Are you forgotten? What drives you back to this attic? Are you the rubbish that belongs here? Oh! Oh. You throw the marble through the window, shattering it partially. I mean, that's one way to solve the problem, is to remove it like that. Oh, interesting. The tinge of red around the broken windows, a nice aspect. I'm afraid to look. Oh dear. Ah! Okay. Once again, I shall walk without looking. And why is the door closed? Are we locked in? It won't open. Oh, ending 6, forgotten. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Ending 6, forgotten. So we threw out the marble. Interesting. And then we were attacked. What is that entity that is haunting our attic and leaving marbles? What is the point? What does it want? You know, we're talking about being forgotten, being haunted. Let's try. Let's see. So we did that. All right. So we'll try going beforehand from where we were curious and see what that does for us. It's very interesting. So everything. I'm trying to wonder who we are in this house. We live in this house. And the theme so far with the story seems to be about things in the attic, or the attic. There's elements of birds. Yes, we do take it with us. Themes about birds, perhaps something about being free. Now, the concept of the attic being a place where things go to be forgotten. Now, this spirit, and the symbolism of the window as well as being this symbol of, you know, the window being open, you know, being able to be free, etc. Is this all just an illusion for, you know, us, our characters? You know, perception that they are free? Are they haunted by ghosts? Of their past? Literally, in this sense, with what's up there, or is that spirit some sort of manifested entity of the representation of the attic itself, of the all of the forgotten things that have been left up here to gather dust and rot? Is it a spirit of forgotten things or something to that effect? I have no idea, but this is absolutely fascinating. So we're going to go with curious. Or a bird. Birds can be cunning. Leave something in return. So last time we did a trinket of our own. So let's do some seeds and nuts, maybe. It probably needs sustenance more than anything else. You leave some nuts from the pantry. Funny, you came here to make sure no pests come around, and now you invite one in. You leave your offering in the little circle. You go downstairs. All right, so let's see what this thread leads us to. In the evening, you look at your findings. They're so pretty, and so uniform aside from the shade of blue. Child getting robbed by birds. Not sure it is a bird. You drift to sleep more curious about their source than before, so yes, we certainly know it is certainly not a bird flittering around up there. All right, let's see what happens now. Oh goodness, excuse me. Piece of fluff got on my face, right? You check the windowsill, a new glass ball. A spark of glee erupts within you. The bounty you left is gone. The trade was successful, though you wish you could see the trader. You want to prolong the trade or deepen the friendship you are developing with some kind of creature? You leave some roasted nuts. They taste better than regular ones. You hope it will like them as well. You go downstairs. Oh, interesting. So this time it actually took the nuts. So is it really a bird or some hungry entity? Excuse me. We shall find out. Place your findings in the nightstand, and then we move on to the next day. Get another knock. Getting into night now. It's there again. Has the trader come to visit again? You might consider closing the window there at some point, but little things like that tend to slip away from your mind often. You wonder what shade will the ball have this time. You go to the attic. There have been mentions of, us as the character having a maybe not the best memory. Are we perhaps, someone older who is dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia? And that is, perhaps something to where our mind is slipping, and that is what we are being haunted by, is our, this demon of forgetfulness, maybe? You approach the window where you see a familiar glimmer. The soft smile blooms across your lips just to deepen into a surprised scowl. There is a glass ball, in the deep ultramarine blue of the evening sky. So deep you would expect tiny stars sparkling within. Oh. It's being held in the claws of a bird's leg. Whatever happened to the rest of the creature leaves your imagination running amok, because the leg was surely ripped out. But that is not the only reason an icy shard of fear pierced your chest. The window is closed shut. Not just closed, latched, as you were supposed to do in the very beginning. Did you close it last time? No, you didn't. Because you were waiting for a visitor. You tense your whole body, listening. The claws release the ball. But before it falls and reaches the ground, you are already running. Scrambling down the ladder, you hear the ball hitting the floor of the attic. Did it sound like footsteps to you? Oh, well, that is an interesting development. Was it a bird originally in the beginning? Was a bird bringing things, but then the entity tore the poor bird apart? How ominous. Right, so now it's the middle of the night. The whimsy of the whole ordeal is long gone. Was it a bird? At any point. A friendly magpie leaving you little treasures? How childish you feel now. Uncertainty muddles your thoughts. Well, you aren't a child any more. Go back to your bedroom. You grab your father's cane. This is your house. Intruders will be dealt with accordingly. You assure yourself as your shaky hands adjust the grip on the cane. You go to the attic. Oh, well, now we are standing on business. First we thought it was a friendly bird, but now it seems to be an unwelcome guest. And now we shall show what we do with unwelcome guests. Very interesting. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. To the window. And there's still some blood there from the poor bird's leg, but the bird's leg is gone. The eye's stare is pinning you in place. You can't look away. Reaching to your limited knowledge of animal behavior, you remember. Shiny objects often pique the interest of small creatures. Weaker creatures. You were not traded with. You were lured. Oh dear! Now that is actually an interesting twist there to it. Shiny objects pique the interest of smaller creatures. You were not traded with, you were lured. So were we being hunted by the demon in the attic? You tighten your grip on your cane. Are we going to bash the demon upside the head? I would very much enjoy that. All right, everyone. Here we go. Oh, are those the nuts? Nothing. I don't know what that is, but I think those are the nuts. Well, it was nice knowing all of you. Here we go. Oh dear. Oh! You run down and close the attic behind you. You barricade the entrance with your cane. There, stay there, whatever you are. Well. All right then. Looking for safe refuge, you enter your bedroom. After closing the door shut with a lock and key, you exhale your tightened breath. Oh no! Until you notice the bedside Oh no, the bedside table. There is a circle edged in its surface. Makes you realize, if the predator was there all along, why would it be bound just to the attic? Oh my. Oh, so that was ending 2, circle. Oh wow, that was... Oh, that gave me chills. That actually gave me chills. Oh, right. Well, I think we still need to find ending 3. Yes, I still think we need to find ending 3. So let's see if we can do... Alrighty, so let's see if we can go ahead and find out what ending 3 looks like. La 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 la. Alright. Oh. I don't like those faces. Floorboards creaking by the window. Come closer. We take the ball with us. Right? Again, it would be sort of startling to walk up there. I wonder what the significance is of the circle and the different colored balls representing the different times of day, indicating the passage of time. I would love to be able to actually interview the author slash game designer and get her point of view on what inspired her for this. Again, this would actually, depending on the ending, this would make quite the interesting movie, I should think. A sort of perfect psychological horror where you never really know what's going on, but the imagery and the symbolism would certainly be most interesting. A blue ball, another one. We're going to go with curious. And I think there was another decision where we chose whether or not to take the ultramarine ball after the trinket. So let's leave a trinket of our own. So we'll leave an old ring. Hmm? Alright, next day, pass by the attic. And again, I love the art style and how the creator did all of this to give the effect of space and 3D, but with, the sort of painterly effects. Alright, the windowsill, the ring. You feel rejected. The ring was once a treasure. And we get the afternoon sky. Okay. Next day we hear a knock. It's getting darker. So now we're at nighttime / evening. Oops. Right. Making floorboards, I would not trust these, but again, just look at the design, and amazing what the creator has done to where you can make an entire game using this artwork and a simple sort of setting and really make it come alive. And again, I would love to see a movie with this premise. That would be very interesting. And again, with the premise of it too, of being so silent with the lack of music, that just adds to the sort of psychological horror aspect, I think, is the use of silence. So, anyway, let's move on. It's beautiful. You wonder until you notice the window. The window is closed. The pounding heart, you gently place your fingers on the ball. It's warm. I don't remember. Let's try leaving it. Leave. You want to leave. You must turn around and leave. Well, I'm scared to turn around and leave. Are we going to see a flash of the image? It looks like someone's standing there. Ah! The waving black fabric is not helping. We'll look at the ground. Oh. Right, we left. Uh-oh. Scrambling down the ladder, you hear the ball hitting the floor of the attic. It sounds like footsteps to you. No, thank you. You pass by the attic, you hear a knock. It's the middle of the night. You wonder. You weren't sleeping anyways. You finally manage a moment of honesty with yourself. You waited for it. All right, it is night now. Well, let's go see what we can see. You go to the attic. Is it just me, or... Those are the eyes. I see the eyes. I'm not... Like tar. Were those there before? Right, we see the eyes looking at us. Very creaky floor. I would be afraid of falling through, so we see the eyes. Are there any more eyes watching us? That was interesting. I don't know if those were there before or in previous ones. The light is dim, yet you see a familiar shine. The glass ball looks at you like a crow's eye. It's pitch black like a starless sky, focused like it's returning your stare with equal interest. You are still, unmoving, terrified by the stillness around you, not sure if the shape's muddled by the dim light. You don't look away, though. You are pinned by the eye. You find it hypnotizing. The marble was replaced, even though you didn't accept it. This is neither a trade nor a gift. They come in order, following some sort of formula. That you followed as well, partially. You're afraid of the end goal of it, but still you came. To see the final black eye before you. Why? Doesn't matter if you take it. It doesn't matter if you won't. You wanted to be seen by it. Attention is all you wanted. Oh. There's our trinket. The attention the eye gives you is not what you starved for. Uh-oh. The attention that you're starved for is not what the eye gave you, and I am afraid to turn. And we can't go forward, so once again I'm going to look and barely peek through my eyes. Oh! Oh, all right. I only just barely saw that out of my peripheral. Or not my peripheral, out of the thin slit between my fingers, so it didn't frighten me as much, but So ending 3, attention. So we have our trinket here, and then the crow's eye is crying. Interesting. Either crying or dripping with blood. I think it's up to interpretation, but attention. So what does that mean? This denotes an eye seeking attention? Very interesting. So I think that is all the endings, but what a fascinating game. Again, the art style, absolutely marvelous. Wonderful use. The sound design, absolutely marvelous as well, using sound to tell the story, and lack of sound as well to tell the story in a very unique way. Music where music makes sense, but otherwise silent. Oh, excuse me, silent, and focusing on the sort of atmospherics. I love the juxtaposition of, you know, the blue, the deep blue of the marbles and sort of the text with the brown, warm tones of the attic. And what an interesting concept, I must say. So what was going on? We had different endings, but what did they mean? So absolutely fascinating game. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have some thoughts about what exactly does all of this symbolism mean? What is it all referring to? What were the different endings, etc.? The theme of the just partially open window, the idea of something coming inside, of something glimmering, of something causing us to make a choice, the illusion of freedom, perhaps. But again, just wonderful, wonderful game. I must look into, see if Paulina here has made anything else. But applause to you, Paulina, for making a fascinating game. And again, I would love to see this as some sort of movie. I feel like it might actually lose some of the scariness, if you will, as a movie if we actually saw the protagonist. But here it's just so well done. I have no words. Otherwise I'll just keep rambling. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of The Attic by Paulina Jiklik. Again, I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. Thank you for sharing your art with us. It was a fascinating ride. What did you think of this game? What did you think of the endings? Have you played it before and gotten any other endings? I would love, 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 love to be able to discuss this with discuss this with anyone who was willing, because I'm fascinated. I want to discuss it. I want to try to figure out what's going on. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I shall see you in the next video and our next playthrough. Pax vobiscum. Goodbye.